This is Becky Liggero. I'm here with Kristy-Leigh of Core Scientific, and we are talking today about how Bitcoin needs to grow up and the future of Bitcoin, the exciting space that we're in. So Bitcoin does need to grow up, like you said. We need to move away from trying to avoid taxes with Bitcoin or make money quick with Bitcoin. Tell me what you mean by that statement, it needs to grow up.
Oh, that's a trick one. So Bitcoin needs to become regulated. It needs to become something that governments can verify. It needs to become some sort of regulated standard, just like the US dollar. It actually needs to become either backed by the US dollar or, it needs to become a replacement for the US dollar. And, if people are going to use this technology, they need to treat it like what it is, which is cash. It's a form of cash. I mean, part of my presentation was the fact that money is history, but Bitcoin is the future.
Yeah, and some people think that Bitcoin is going to replace banks, replace governments, replace this or that. What role do banks actually play in the future of Bitcoin, do you think?
So Bitcoin, like blockchain, is going to be very similar to the relational databases of 1975 in that we're not actually going to see this technology on the surface, but it's going to be there and it's just going to make our lives a seamless experience. So I think a lot of banks are going to start using blockchain specifically for being able to replace Swift codes. That's a very new and exciting field, and I personally am excited after coming to the US and dealing with the banking system there. I'm excited just to not have to pay $35 for a damn wire transfer. Like, holy hell. Bitcoin is going to enable banks to do that, and they're already trying to start working with it, but they need developers to walk them through the process. They need companies, trusted US-backed entities or, publicly backed entities from Canada, from the US, from Switzerland, etc., to walk them through how they do this, to actually build the applications for them. And in that way, we've also solved a liability problem, right? So if the technology doesn't work, banks can actually point at the businesses and say, hey, this technology doesn't work. You're at fault. They don't start blaming the the underlying infrastructure, blockchain or Bitcoin for it, which is important.
Absolutely, education's a huge deal here.
Educate.
And what about when it comes to spreading the adoption of Bitcoin to get merchants involved, retailers involved? How can we do this, and what role is Core Scientific playing in this process?
So the biggest way we can start getting more and more merchants to adopt Bitcoin is first, once we've got the regulation, we fixed the volatility problem. Then we need to just go head on. Just approach them, explain how it can save costs, cut out overhead, walk them through the entire process, package it up into some neat little present, give it to them. They'll start to adopt it, they'll jump on it actually, because right now, Gartner is always talking about their hype cycles. Well, Bitcoin is part of that hype cycle. Blockchain is part of that hype cycle. Everyone wants to jump into it, but someone's got to walk businesses through it. That's part of what Core Scientific's role is.
I think an important point is that it's not necessarily how it works, the nuts and bolts, but it's what it can do for the business.
Yeah. Businesses don't care about how technology works. They never have. And users don't care about technology works. You don't care how your mobile phone works. You just care that, you can look at Facebook on it, or you could use Twitter, or you can take some photos. You just care about the application space. So we've got to treat Bitcoin and blockchain the same way.
Absolutely, Kristy-Leigh. You're such a wonderful personality in this space. I really appreciate your time and your expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.